Hey everyone, welcome back. Icon here. Today we're hopping back into the second Hardpoint match. So I'm reacting to this live. I'm a little bit shocked. They just played Hackney Yard Dom. I couldn't believe that it went that way because normally Chicago struggles at Hackney Yard. But as we go ahead and we rotate here into Hardpoint, this first side doesn't really matter all that much. So this very first, now if you look at the kill feed real quick before we get into this, 5, 6, 7 of the first 8 kills went to Chicago. So it's hard to see exactly what's happening in terms of spawns, but as this rotates back to the second side, you want to have that spawn that's back towards the opposite side where Chicago spawned. So Dallas had the beneficial spawn to start this side, but as we're on board with Clayster here, I can't really see what's happening in terms of where they're spawning. Minimap, bottom left-hand corner. So if you look at the arrows in the bottom left-hand corner, Chicago was able to overtake that spawn. So as this rotates back to the second hardpoint, Chicago is in position and is in control of that spawn for that second hardpoint. So this first hill, 5-2, this one doesn't matter at all. Only thing that matters is setting up for this second side. Now, if you're Chicago, you do want to push forward a little bit because if Dallas is able to push out one side, then it's going to be a 50-50 split. So one team will spawn on the left side of the hard point, another team will spawn on the right side. So it looks like even though Chicago has control of spawns at the moment, that's what we're going to have. So these are really good points. This is really good time for Chicago. But as Dallas is pushing this right side, it's exactly what we just talked about. So Chicago spawning on the left side, Dallas is spawning on the right, and it's just going to be a battle for who gets in hill first. So it does look like they're doing a decent job of holding down hill right now. It looks like Illy just got a 3-piece. And it looks like, man, it's so hard to see what's going on in terms of spawns. So Formal's just here trying to see if he can peek a kill. This is contested at the moment. Nice wins there by Chicago, but with 20 seconds left, you do want to start thinking about rotations. So the third hard point on this map, when we get over there to it, this is one of those ones that it doesn't matter which side you're spawning on as long as you can get pushed up into the chokes. So the fourth hill doesn't really matter either. We'll talk about that when we get there. But as we rotate from second to third, it's the fifth hard point that you want to start preparing for. Finally, they put a scoreboard in the top right and top left-hand corner. But now that we're here in this third hard point, it does look like Dallas is in control, but they're about to get pinched. So there were people on both sides. That was a nice kill from Arcides, but it wasn't enough. He didn't have enough. 4 people went down for Chicago. So as we're sitting here, this is nice for Shotzzy to be in hill, but you do have to get pushed out. So essentially what you're doing is you're just having 50-50 gun battles in the hill, and whoever ends up winning these gun battles is going to overtake the hill. So that's exactly what just happened. Arcides got a 2-point, Envoy got a kill, and now Chicago overtook the hill. So when I'm talking about for this third map, it doesn't matter what side that you're spawning on. All I mean is that you have to get pushed out a little bit because all of these gun battles that are happening inside the hill, whoever wins gets control of the hill. So the way that you max out time for here, that's a nasty 2-piece from Formal. He did get pinched from the back, so he ends up going down. But whoever's going to max out time here is going to be the one that's pushed out into the hard point. So we're not seeing that at the moment, but with 5 seconds left, it looks like this is going to be about to be a tied match as it goes towards the fourth hill. Now, on Gunrunner, fourth hill is kind of like the first. It's a little bit easier to control time. So if you're the team that's spawning out by second hardpoint, it's a little bit easier to control time in this hardpoint, but essentially the second and the fifth hill is the ones where you really take advantage of this map. So if you're Chicago, you do want to contest this because if you don't get a contest here, then holding down spawns for the fifth hardpoint doesn't really matter all that much. So this is really good time for Dallas. Even though they don't have spawns, the spawns that you want for the next hardpoint, they're doing a nice job of controlling time here. So now essentially what they're doing is that even though Chicago has time or has spawns for that fifth hill, it really doesn't matter too much because they're able to overtake this fourth hill. So you don't really see this all that much. Most of the time, there's much more of a battle for this fourth hardpoint. So finally, it looks like the last 14 seconds or so are going to go Chicago's way. But now, where Formal's at right now, as this rotates to the fifth hill, as Formal's over here in Woods, that means that Dallas is going to be spawning over towards Cole. So they're going to be approaching from the opposite side. So again, if you're Chicago, get out. Push out a little bit so that when you're having these gun battles, they're not happening in hill. Like right there, as we just saw, Formal went down, they were able to push through, and now this hill is contested. Whereas if that gun battle happens a little bit further out in those chokes, then they're able to control the map a little bit more and control time in the hill. So at the current point in time, what's happening is Chicago is spawning over towards Cole, over towards Minecart, and Dallas is spawning over towards Wood. So it's kind of the same thing that happened with the second hardpoint, is that one team is spawning on the left side of the hill, the other team is spawning on the right side. But it looks like this is going to be just fairly contested. So this is going back and forth. There is 4 in the kill feed there for Chicago. So again, push out. There's nobody watching that left side. It does look like they're able to get a couple kills mid-map, but there's nobody watching boxes. So as that person comes in, you have a 50-50 gun battle in the hill. Whoever ends up winning this is going to get that time, but it's only 6 seconds. So again, you have to know where teams are spawning. Since Chicago was over in woods, you have to be pushed out over towards boxes so that 50-50 gun battle can't happen. But as we're back to the first rotations here, it's basically a tie ball game. It's a 10-point lead, but the most important thing is having spawns again for the second Hardpoint. So it looks like, if you look at the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner, Chicago was able to flip spawns. So they do have spawns for that second Hardpoint, although there's somebody pushing through there. It looks like it was Huke, and then Huke ended up being killed by Envoy. So as this rotation comes up, they are still going to have that back spawn for the second Hardpoint. It's really hard to get adjusted to what's happening here with terms of the scoreboard and the pictures flying around in the mini-map. But right now, I'm just watching the bottom left-hand corner. Of course, as soon as I start to talk about it, it goes away. But there's a 5-piece right there. So what's going to happen is that Dallas is going to spawn in that third Hardpoint. So if you're watching the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner, Dallas is spawning by that third Hardpoint. Now, they are able to get a couple kills, so the last 4 seconds or so looked like they were going to go towards Dallas, but those are nice kills from Formal. So as this rotates back to the second side, this is what you want to see. So Formal is pushed out a little bit in the chokes, and he's able to take these gun battles before they're able to make it to the hill. Now, he ended up going down. Envoy was also pushed out, and he went down. Now, Gunless went down. So it looks like this is going to become one of those left side, right side type deals. But again, if you're Chicago, get pushed out a little bit. I'm watching the mini-map, and if you look at, there are 4 green arrows inside the hill, and there's one person pushed out on the right side of the hill. So this is, again, one team's going to be on one side, one team's going to be on the other side, and it's just going to be who can end up winning this team fight. Now, I was just watching the mini-map there, and somebody spawned out in the third, so I would expect that Dallas is going to be able to overtake this and get the last 18 seconds or so, and again, I'm just watching the mini-map. So they are able to take this. They're going to take the last 12 seconds, but as it rotates back to the other side, towards the third side, the third Hardpoint, Chicago is going to be set up. Now, again, just push out a little bit. I wish I could see the mini-map, but so what you're seeing right now is, okay, so those were big kills. Scump, Envoy, and Gunless all went down in those chokes, so that's going to hurt them a little bit. If you're there, you do want to get pushed out again. So they just went down in hill. Formal RCs went down. Gunless was able to trade it. So they are able to overtake, and they are going to hold this sign. But right now, if you're Gunless, there are multiple people in hill. You have to get pushed out. This is what I mean. When the first time through, I was saying the spawns for this side don't really matter. So the spawns for the third Hardpoint don't matter. You just have to get pushed out so that you can get kills in those chokes. And that's really not happening at the moment. It's just all 50-50 gun battles around the hill. But Formal with 2, Scump with 2. So there's only one person left, and now it looks like they're going to overtake this time. That's a big kill from Clay. My guess would be he wouldn't really be able to overtake this, so that's a nice trade from Formal. 2-piece from Formal. Right now, nobody's in the hill. This is going to be a 1v1 gun battle as Huke goes to push in. Huke ended up getting that kill and then gets traded out from Gunless. Holy cow, a lot's going on. So as we rotate back to the fourth hill, it's going to be about a 35-point lead-ish for Dallas. Now, the first time around, this fourth hill, they were able to get 40 points on this hill. So if you're Chicago, you have to trade that without giving up spawns for the fifth hill. This is much better. It's contested right now. Nice kills. 4 go down for Chicago. So if you're Dallas, you're exactly where you want to be. This is the same thing that happened the first time. Formal and Scump with a kill. It basically a 1v1. Whoever won that would have gotten that time. So Formal went down. Big kill there from Dallas. So if you're Chicago right now, you have to be watching the left flank. This is nice time by Arcides and Hill. That's a great job of contesting. Super job, but they have to watch their backs. So with 21 seconds left, as they're coming off spawn, I wish I could see the minimap in the bottom left-hand corner so I could see where teams are at and where teams are spawning. But if Formal's over here in Woods, then that means that Dallas is going to be pushing through either mid-map or the left side. So if you're Formal, you just have to watch the cross here. Watch towards bottom green. I don't like this view either. This doesn't really tell us much. Flip out of this view. Switch us around here. All right, so in Hill, Envoy is pushed up into boxes, and that's exactly what you want to see. As they're coming off spawn, it does look like Dallas is coming from boxes. So this is a nice job by Arcides here. He's able to get 1. 3 go down in the kill feed, and now we're getting pretty close here. This is contested, so they do have to finish that hill. Nice kill there. They're still pushing through boxes. So if you're Chicago, you're spawning woods. Dallas is spawning over in minecart. So a lot of what's happening in hill right now is a result of those cuts. Whoever's able to get kills in cuts as the teams are coming from their spawns is going to be able to control this. But as it comes down to 2:30, they are able to win off of this hill. Scump's on a 5-piece. He's still getting kills. Another kill from Scump. There's one more there. Massive kills from Scum. Wow, with 13 seconds left, if they just hold this down, they're able to win off this hill. If 5 down in the kill feed. As you look, it looks like Dallas is spawning out. 5 seconds left, 4 seconds. There's a couple battles. Scump with more inboxes, and that's going to do it. Wow. That is unbelievable. Look at Scump. Look at the emotion. Holy cow. I just got goosebumps. Wow. Holy crap. I can't believe that just happened. Look at the emotion from Scum. Think about it. For the last 4 months, everybody's been talking about how Dallas and Atlanta are the 2 teams that are going to show up, and they just took control of this one. Unbelievable. What a match from them. I wish that there was a way that we could hop in here and see the scoreboard, but these were dominant performances from Chicago. All of the respawn maps they won. The first Hardpoint was somewhat close, but this last one, they really had a pretty big lead going into this last one. And then the domination was a wipe. They absolutely crushed that domination on Hackney Yard. So I'll be uploading all of these. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I cannot believe what I just saw. Wow, that's impressive from Chicago. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of this action. Make sure you hit a like before you head on your way. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you.